Right, well, good morning Matthew, and thank you for coming down to the Agri Forum at the Blackpool AGM 2016. Just a few questions for you this morning before we go on to the panel debate. If there was one thing that you would try and change in farming to make a positive difference overnight, what do you think that would be?
I mean, nothing ever changes overnight in farming.
That's true.
And so, I suppose, based on that, I've always been quite critical of things like the Common Agricultural Policy and the tax regime on land, because I think there are so many advantages there for people who already have land. And I'd probably like to see some changes there to make the land market just a little bit more dynamic and faster moving, and to make land more accessible.
Yeah, which is obviously of a particular interest to younger farmers trying to get onto the career ladder and set a business up. Obviously access to land is quite a... And
also to older farmers who wish to get out, but for tax reasons can't, because they don't want capital gains tax or
need to
inheritance
be seen as
tax
active
implications.
farmers.
Yes.
Which, at the forum today, what are you hopeful to see or get out of the debate panel this morning?
I'm really genuinely fascinated to see what people are thinking and what challenges people are facing, because I used to come to the AGM 20 years ago when I was a young farmer and thoroughly enjoyed it. And you forget just how much time has passed and how much has gone on in my business since then. So for me, it's it's quite interesting to think, wow, things have changed so much for me. And hopefully that's something that people will see and realise that it actually does happen. You know, just by getting older, it gets easier.
Well, there's certainly one thing, everybody in the room's getting older second by second. So. And as far as the supply chain goes, once we've got the land and we're into business, we're enthusiastic young farmers, do you think there's an appropriate level of security for producers within the supply chain, or do you feel things are very much weighted towards processors and retailers that can do what they wish in a contract when a farmer's perhaps unable to even change the slightest detail on product supply?
That is definitely true, and it is quite precarious when you're dealing with huge companies. I think things are changing. There are more attempts for farmers to cooperate, and I think that we're aligning ourselves slightly better as a response, but it is a big worry for anybody who wishes to run a business in their own right. And the cost of independence, and I quite like my independence, being my own boss, but the cost of that is that insecurity. And I think that to be able to take on retailers and processors as equals, we have to work together very closely, and that means foregoing some of our independence. So that's a decision for individual farmers.
Absolutely, and I often feel there isn't a fair amount of risk apportioning. The producers often carrying a lot of the risk, whereas the processors and retailers tend to word themselves in quite cleverly to give them an awful lot of security on supply.
Very true, although there's a phrase that I use probably 7 times every day. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
That is true. Well, thank you very much, Matthew, and very much look forward to hearing what you have to contribute to the debate this morning. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.